Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about the 2018 NFL Scouting Combine defensive tackles based on analytics. So we're going to go over all the players that tested at the Combine when it comes to the defensive tackle class or interior defensive line class. We're going to get into their athleticism testing. We're going to get into some red flags. And we're going to just give a general idea about what the Combine should be used for a little bit when it comes to defensive tackles. Now, if you're new to the channel, you're new to the work that I do, all terms and definitions will be in the description. So if you don't know what a explosive lower body strength score is, if you don't know what a speed score is, and you don't know what a flexibility score is, all those terms can be found in the description to give you a general idea about all those particular things. But all you really need to know, just to give my brief sort of definition for those terms, explosive lower body strength is where you take the vertical and the broad jump measured against mass density. So you're essentially seeing how explosive they are for their size. The speed score deals with the 40-yard dash measured against mass density, which essentially deals with how fast they are for their size. And then the flexibility score deals with the short shuttle and three cone measured against mass density, which tells you how balanced they are for their size. So again, EXP is explosiveness for their size, speed is how fast they are for their size, and then flexibility is how balanced they are for their size, their ability to keep their feet, their ability to maintain balance, if you will. And in terms of guys who put up red flags, so I won't get into the guys that had the best testing days yet. I'll probably leave that towards the end. But in terms of guys who put up red flags, so these are players that hit certain numbers in terms of athleticism that is not indicative of a multiple All-Pro / Pro Bowl defensive tackle since the 1999 NFL draft class. Those players, in terms of EXP, explosiveness, were Andrew Brown, B.J. Hill, Derek Nyandi from Florida State, John Atkins, and Taylor Stallworth and Tim Settle. All those players hit explosive scores that are not indicative of a high quality NFL defensive tackle, if you will. So that's kind of the main concern in terms of them. And SPD is a speed score. So these are all the defensive tackles who did not hit a speed score indicative of a high quality NFL defensive tackle. Those players are as follows: Eddie Wilson, Foley, Fatukasi, Harrison Phillips, Kendrick Norton, and Matt Dickerson. All those players did not hit special athleticism traits when it comes to their speed score. Now, this doesn't mean that they're not going to become long-term starters. This doesn't mean that there's not a chance that they could end up being a starter for your team, essentially is what I'm trying to say. But this does mean that the chances of them becoming a multiple All-Pro, multiple Pro Bowl type defensive tackle are less likely than you would want. So again, that's all that these data points are really talking about. So when I talk about red flags, these are things that if a guy hits that red flag, this is not someone you take in the first round. This is also maybe not somebody you take in round 2. So again, this is just a way to kind of screen guys out so that you can take a player that has a very good chance of becoming a special player versus a player that just ends up being a starter. In terms of guys who tested really well at the Combine in terms of defensive tackles, I would say Bilal Nichols put up a really good speed score. Deron Payne overall had a really good explosion score, speed score, and balance score. So Payne pretty much had a really good day. He wasn't 90+ percentile across the board, but he did at least hit very good, very good numbers across the board. That's the main thing I would say about Deron Payne. He had a very, again, easily a top 5 Combine performer. Then, of course, you have James Looney from California. He did pretty well in terms of the testing as well. Nathan Shepard from Fort Hays State also had a pretty good day. Rasheem Green had a nice day as well. And Vita Villa, of course, from Washington, had a very impressive day too. And Zay Hernandez also had a very good day. Taven Bryan as well. Taven Bryan had a very, very good explosion score and speed score for the most part. So again, these are all the defensive tackles that put up fairly, very good days, in terms of their overall testing. We'll know more information as we get closer to the combine, pro days, all that other kind of stuff, because we're going to be waiting on we're going to be waiting on a lot of information to come out, because after this point, it's really just waiting for the pro days to happen, and hopefully they actually do the stuff that they didn't do at the combine at the pro day. So again, but for the most part, a lot of players, a lot of defensive tackles put up really decent days. Some of them not so much, but this is still a very good day, nevertheless, when it comes to the players that are on this list. And if you have any questions about any particular players or any particular data points, feel free to leave a comment below to let me know if you have any comments, questions, etc. And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know. Hit that notification button so that you're always reminded when another video of mine drops. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace!